Thank you, Thanos. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I'd like to congratulate the Hellenic Association for Energy Economics for organizing the symposium in the context of the debate to the transition to new forms of energy that are environmentally and citizen-friendly, and also to thank the chairman, Mr. Spiros Papefthimiou, for the invitation to attend the session Ecomobility and Microgrids at the forefront of green development. All of us who participate in productive ministries, such as the Ministry of Infrastructure and Transport, we strongly believe that these events is a driving force for a culture of sustainable and environmentally friendly perception of mobility. Greece, as we all know, is sunbathed, has rich wind potential and energy resources. These factors make our country the ideal place for introduction and promotion of sustainable ways of mobility, contributing to the protection of the environment, strengthening the local economy, and improving the quality of life of both its residents and of those millions who are visiting it. Mobility is one of the most important human activities through which social contacts, economic and business activities are carried out, and in general, all human needs are met. At the Ministry of Infrastructure and Transport, we believe that sustainable mobility, in addition to serving all the above needs, introduces the element of sustainability in the development of transport systems, reducing to minimum the burden of natural resources. This contributes to the preservation of natural environment, protects health and safety of citizens, supports the economy, especially in tourist countries such as Greece, and creates new business opportunities and consequently new jobs in local communities. Transport conditions and respect for the right to free movement in urban areas is a pillar in the plan of our strategy. The need to keep cities livable, safe, and accessible for all citizens has become an issue of increasing concern for governments. Ecomobility refers to the ability of any citizen or visitor to travel and move in an environmentally friendly, healthy, and safe way. The transportation sector has a significant impact on both the local and global environment. Transportation contributes approximately 25% of global greenhouse gas emissions and has a significant impact on local air quality and equity. As we all know, microgrid is an energy system that is self-sufficient and supports a relatively small geographic areas, such as a neighborhood. Microgrids are consistent from one or more kinds of distributed energy, like solar panels and wind turbines that produce power. The fact that microgrids create energy for nearby citizens distinguishes them from large centralized grids that have provided most of our electricity for the last century. Many of us have probably mentioned that electric vehicles are becoming more affordable for customers. Therefore, in order to achieve a greener and more affordable transportation, new energy systems such as microgrids are required to provide a reliable energy infrastructure for electric vehicles. Today, electric vehicle owners must try hard to find charging stations in their neighborhoods. It is absolutely sure that in the near future, charging stations should be developed along highways and near public transportation spots like seaports, train stations, and airports. Electric vehicles charging infrastructure, instead of using traditional fuels, can opt for new solutions, including microgrid, photovoltaic, and battery energy storage, and all these energy solutions need to be integrated to enable a widespread and greener energy infrastructure. Sustainable urban mobility is part of our strategy, for obvious reasons such as tackling the effects of climate change. The first goal we have to achieve is to plan a comprehensive urban transport plan which supports alternative forms of fast and safe mobility. In this context, in the coming days, we'll give to consultation the draft law for the operational framework of the sustainable urban mobility plans, but also the micromobility, through which our country, for the first time, will dispose specific traffic rules and specifications for the micromobility vehicles. Within the framework of sustainable urban mobility plans, we clarify the existence of similar rules in order to encourage and help the local governments and municipalities to take advantage and to have access to many financial tools that support ecomobility. In particular, we give the local authorities the opportunity, through simple rules, to implement projects related to improving road safety, development of micromobility, facilitating electromobility, and develop intelligent mobility systems. The following rules of the new law are based on the guidelines adopted by the European Commission through the ELDIS Observatory, and we attempted to make it immediately applicable without the need for secondary legislation. With regard to the field of micromobility, I think it is obvious to all of us that small vehicles of transport are being met everywhere in the streets and even on the pavements. And until now, there are no provisions in the road traffic code, but also no specifications for their safe use. For these environmentally friendly vehicles, such as e-scooters, rollers, skateboards, and Segway, we are now regulating the traffic context in Greece. And due to the fact that the states must first set good practices, you may already know that our Ministry of Infrastructure and Transport recently became the first certified bicycle-friendly organization in Greece. 2 months ago, we received the Cycle-Friendly Employer certification, since in our premises there is a bicycle parking that meets international standards for the safe parking of bicycles and e-bikes. I must also add that in cooperation with other ministries, mostly with our colleagues from Ministry of Energy, we worked on the draft law on electromobility, and we are working consistently and intensively to implement the provisions of this law. I would like to underline that for the first time in Greece, public policies related to transport infrastructure, road safety, and the use of environmentally friendly electric vehicles are part of a coherent strategy which will help the transition to a green and citizen-friendly mobility. Finally, I want also to note that the implementation of the above regulations is not the end of our efforts, but just the beginning of the transformation of the mobility framework, aiming at the next steps concerning automated mobility, autonomous driving, car sharing, carpooling, and in general, a counter transport as a service. With all these thoughts, I would like to assure you that the Ministry of Infrastructure and Transport will take all necessary actions that contribute to changing the transformation frame towards an ecological way of mobility. Thank you very much.